Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. We're about to dive into a fascinating topic, learning the Italian verb essere. This is a comprehensive guide specifically designed for English speakers. In this presentation, we'll explore how to master the foundation of Italian grammar through the essential verb, to be. So, let's get started and uncover the key to building your Italian skills. Why essere is essential. The heart of Italian. Essere appears in nearly every conversation, forming the backbone of Italian communication. It is the most frequently used verb in Italian, and that's for good reason. It's essential for basic introductions, like saying who you are or where you're from. It also serves as the foundation for creating compound tenses, which are crucial for expressing actions in different times. Plus, you'll find essere used in countless expressions, making it a versatile and fundamental part of the language. For example, when describing identity, you might say, Io sono un insegnante, which means, I am a teacher. Or when talking about location, you could say, siamo a Roma, we are in Rome. And when expressing feelings, you might say felice, you are happy. So, throughout this course, you'll see how central essere is to understanding and speaking Italian confidently. Let's take a closer look at how the English to be compares with the Italian essere. First, both of these verbs are irregular, which means they don't follow the standard patterns of regular verbs. They are essential for expressing identity and descriptions, helping us tell who someone is or what something is like. Additionally, both are crucial for forming other tenses in their respective languages, making them foundational verbs to master. You'll also notice that in both languages, these verbs cannot be omitted in sentences without losing clarity or meaning. Now, on to the key differences. Italian has more distinct forms of essere, 6 compared to the 3 in English, so you'll see a richer variety of conjugations. Also, in Italian, subject pronouns are often dropped because the verb endings already indicate the subject, which can be a bit different from English where pronouns are usually necessary. You'll also find differences in pronunciation patterns, as Italian verbs have unique sounds and stress patterns. Lastly, essere is used with different compound tenses in Italian, which adds a layer of complexity, but also richness to how the language expresses time and aspect. Understanding these similarities and differences helps us see how each language constructs meaning around this fundamental verb, which is a key part of mastering both English and Italian. Now let's take a closer look at the 6 forms of essere in the present tense. This is fundamental because essere is one of the most important verbs in Italian, used in many contexts. Starting with io sono, which means I am. It's the first person singular, and you'll use it whenever you're referring to yourself. Next, we have tu sei, meaning you are in an informal singular context. Remember, tu is informal, so use it with friends or family. Moving on to lui/lei grave, which translates to he is or she is, but also you are in a formal sense. It's used when speaking respectfully or formally to someone. Then there's noi siamo, meaning we are. This form is used when talking about yourself and others collectively. Following that, voi siete means you are in the plural form, used when addressing multiple people at once. Finally, loro sono translates to they are, referring to a group of people or objects. Understanding these 6 forms is crucial because they form the backbone of many sentences in Italian. They also help us see how the verb essere conjugates depending on the subject, which will be very useful as we progress through the language. Let's take a closer look at the pronunciation guide. First up is sono, which is pronounced sono. Notice the open O sound and the stress falls on the first syllable. This kind of emphasis helps keep your pronunciation clear and natural. Next, we have sei, pronounced sei. Think of it like saying say, but with a distinct Italian E. It's a bit sharper and more defined. Moving on, the word e grave is pronounced a short, open E sound, and remember, the accent mark indicates that this vowel is stressed. Then there's siamo, which sounds like CAHMO. Here, the stress is on the second syllable, so be sure to emphasize that part. Lastly, siat is pronounced siate with 3 clear syllables. The middle syllable is stressed, so it's important to give a little extra emphasis there to sound authentic. Mastering these sounds is key because it ties directly into speaking Italian confidently and naturally. Keep practicing these, and you'll notice your pronunciation improving steadily, helping you connect more deeply with the language and culture. Now, let's look at some common usage patterns for the verb essere. Understanding when to use each form is key to speaking naturally in Italian. First, we have identity and profession. For example, when I say sono Maria or sono insegnante, I'm telling you who I am or what I do. This form helps us describe ourselves or others in terms of identity or profession. Next, we use essere to talk about location and origin. For instance, siamo a Milano means we're in Milan, and lei è grave di Roma indicates she's from Rome. It's a simple way to state where someone is or where they come from. Then there are states and feelings. Saying sei felice or sono stanco expresses how someone feels at the moment, happy or tired. It's important to note that essere helps us describe emotions and conditions. Finally, we use essere when asking about time and dates. For example, "Che ora è grave" means "what time is it?" And "sono le tre" tells us it's 3 o'clock. This is how we talk about the current time or specific dates. So, as you can see, essere is a versatile verb that fits many everyday situations. Recognizing these patterns will help you become more confident in your Italian conversations. Now let's look at some practical examples of how to use essere in everyday Italian sentences. For instance, when I say io sono inglese, it means I am English. This shows how we use sono with io to describe ourselves. Similarly, if I say tu sei molto gentile, that translates to you are very kind, highlighting the use of sei with tu. When talking about someone else, like lei è grave la mia professoressa, it means she is my teacher, demonstrating the third-person singular form è grave. Moving on to more conversational examples, we have noi siamo studenti, meaning we are students, and voi siete pronti, which asks, are you ready? Here, we're using siamo and siete for we and you all. Then there's loro sono italiani, or they are Italian, showing the plural form for they. Finally, some useful questions like dove il bagno, meaning where is the toilet, and come say, which translates to how are you, or what are you like? These examples help illustrate how essere functions in various common contexts, making it easier for you to start using it confidently in your daily conversations. Now, let's move on to some interactive practice to reinforce what we've learned so far. We'll start with conjugation exercises and speaking drills. First, in the fill-in-the-blanks section, you'll see sentences like Maria Italiana, and you need to fill in the correct form of essere, which is e grave in this case. Similarly, for noi studenti, you would use siamo, and for tu stanco, the answer is sei. This exercise helps you practice the correct verb forms in context. Next, we have the translation practice segment. I will say a sentence in English like, I am happy, and you will translate it into Italian, which is io sono felice. This is a great way to strengthen your vocabulary and sentence structure. Moving on, the speaking drill encourages you to speak actively. Try introducing yourself in Italian. Say your name, where you're from, and your profession. This is important for building confidence in real-life conversations. Finally, the question formation section focuses on forming questions. For example, sei Italiano means are you Italian? And dove siet asks where are you? Remember, question words like kai for who are essential for asking different types of questions. These exercises are designed to make your learning more engaging and practical, helping you to use Italian confidently in everyday situations. Let's talk about some common mistakes English speakers often make when learning Italian and how to avoid them. First, forgetting the accent on e grave is a big one. Remember, e grave means is, while e simply means and. Missing that accent can change the meaning of your sentence entirely, so pay attention to the accents. Next, many English speakers use subject pronouns excessively. Italians tend to drop them because the verb conjugation already indicates the subject. For example, instead of saying io sono stanco, just say sono stanco. The subject is understood from the verb. Also, be careful not to confuse sono, meaning I am or they are, depending on context. Listening carefully helps you figure out who or what is being referred to, like io sono versus loro sono. Another common mistake is mispronouncing siamo and siat. The stress is on different syllables. CAHMO for we are and CAT for you all are. Proper pronunciation makes your meaning clearer and improves your confidence. A helpful tip: regular practice, especially with native speakers or language apps, can really help you eliminate these errors quickly. Consistency is key. So keep practicing, pay close attention to accents, pronunciation, and context, and you'll see steady improvement in your Italian skills. Now that we've built a solid foundation with Essere, it's time to take the next steps in your Italian learning journey. First, focus on mastering other essential verbs like aver, which means to have, fare, meaning to do or to make, and andare, which is to go. These verbs are fundamental for everyday conversations and will greatly expand your ability to communicate. Next, let's explore past tenses. Remember, Essere plays a crucial role in forming compound past tenses in Italian, especially with certain verbs and adjectives. So, understanding how to use Essere correctly in past contexts is key to talking about your experiences. Practicing daily conversations is also vital. Try to use Essere in real-life situations, perhaps with language exchange partners or in everyday scenarios. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. And don't forget to expand your vocabulary. Combine Essere with adjectives, nouns, and locations to describe people, places, and things more vividly. As the saying goes, la pratica rende perfetti, or practice makes perfect. Keep practicing consistently, and you'll see your skills improve steadily. Remember, each step builds on the last, bringing you closer to fluency.